Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about Clover Mobile once again. Now, in today's video, I'm going to cover two main topics. So first, the first half is going to be like a counter update to show my progress after about 3 weeks of playing. I'm completely free to play as well, so this kind of just shows you the extent of where you can reach as a free to play if you have kind of planned everything, optimized everything, etc. Then the second topic I'm talking about is kind of my initial source after playing this for a while. What are the main difference between the Canadian soft launch and also the Japanese Korean version from 4 or 5 months ago? I'll give you a sneak peek. I'm not a great fan of some of the changes, to be honest. But yeah, I'll kind of talk in depth about what are the changes and why I don't think they are any good. All right, so firstly, a count update. So if you watched my video from last time, I only managed to reach at the highest point, number 2 in the ranking in the last PvP season. I've done better this time, so I did manage to reach rank 1 now. As you can see, I'm actually rank 1 right now, which is nice. If you look at how many points I am, I'm about 100 points ahead of second place, so that's pretty solid. I'm happy with that. Where I finished last week was I am finishing at 18, so that's not too bad either. So this is kind of roughly where I am. Now, it gets a bit boring right now because if I refresh, I always see the same two people, which is the uh, person on number 2 and number 3. Like I literally refresh those the times, always between those two, so there's absolutely no point of me attacking. Um, Blade on number 4 was able to find me, so I guess he can actually search for me, but I can't search for him because he did attack me like 5 times in a row. I managed to win 2 of them, lost 3 afterwards, so he probably found a way to beat my team afterwards. So that's absolutely fine. Yeah, and overall, I talked about kind of exactly how my team works before in my last video. I'll post the link in the description. It's still the same team. It's an auto win team. I auto pretty much every single attack, and I auto obviously of the defense. So I managed to get this team to auto battle all the way to number 1 in PvP, so I'm pretty proud of it. It's a very unusual team as well. It's like a red team, which not many people play. People either play kind of the blue team dominated by Lotus Mars, William, Blue Yami, or they play the green team now, which is the Lect plus Raya combo with Valtos, etc. I think I'm like the only one playing like a red team, so that's pretty good, nice to actually see something else new. See, I'll have like a red team. No one else can play more than 2 red characters in the same team. So, I'm also pretty pleased with that. Oh, this person does, but that's only 2 versus for me, I have like 3. So, yeah, so this is kind of roughly where I am. And as you can see, it does show that in this game modes in PvP, the color doesn't really matter. Yes, you have the blue, which is kind of meta because the majority of people play it, but you can still get the matches even if you are at elemental or color disadvantage. So don't worry too much about that. It's more about the synergy between your characters and how you actually optimize the way you do different attacks, etc. Once again, I went into full details of how my team works in my previous video, so check out in the description below if you do want to see how that team works. All right. In terms of account update, other updates, I will show you where I am in terms of ranking in terms of pure CC. So let me try. So yeah. So I am 176k in terms of CC, which is not bad. Number 72 right now. I'm not playing any of the defender, but if you play this game before, you kind of know the one with the high CC are defenders, so like Mars or Radis, etc. I'm not playing any of them, so this is actually a really good CC. Considering the fact I'm not doing anything like that, I'm not trying to purposely raise my CC higher by playing defenders, etc. I am still free to play, so as you can see, first purchase is still unlocked, so I haven't spent any money on this at all. And the other thing I'm pretty pleased with is that if I go to limited challenges, if I go to Noel's events, oh, I'm number 2 now. I did manage to reach rank 1 yesterday, so I was pretty pleased with that. Oh, this guy used the same team as me, so no wonder. He's only 7 points ahead of me, so I can probably beat him if I try again patiently a few times. But yeah, so once again, I've done pretty well in this game mode as well. I also have a video guide on how to do this game mode back from the Japanese version. So you know what, I'll stick the link for this as well in the description below. So if you do want to succeed and do well in this event, then check out that video as well. And I'll talk all about the different ways of how you can score high points here. But yeah, so overall, pretty pleased. I was getting really lucky with the LR gears before, but then I kind of slowed down for a while. So not doing so well now, but I still have a solid number of pieces, as you can see. My main characters are Lotus, which you can see half of them are LR. Red Army, half LR. Sally, two LR pieces, and also Mashallah, which is half LR as well. So yeah, so you can see out of my four main team characters, half of them, half of the gears are already LR, so that's decent as well. I have been getting really bad luck recently trying to farm them, so I probably will stop for a while because I'm not getting any of the good pieces. So I think I'll just stick with this for the time being. But yeah, so this is kind of roughly where I am in terms of all of the different things. Oh, and in terms of all of the affinities, if you actually take a look, I have already cleared chapter 5. Let me see if I can, what's the easiest way of showing you. I pretty much got 27 out of 27, so I maxed out on every single of the event, so the patrol areas right now. This one I can probably do it. I probably just need to do it manually rather than auto because I was altering and I could never survive long enough because my healers just do stupid things. So I'll probably just try to manually play this and get the last three as well. But yeah, so that's roughly where I am. And in terms of the summons, I am at almost 36k gems and I have 70 summon tickets. So that's pretty well. That's about probably just under 400 summons. So I'm gonna save all that up for S2 for Season Noel when she comes out. If I'm still playing, I'm actually considering stopping on this as well because it's pretty much the same as the Japanese version, and I got bored eventually. This was just mainly a test to see how far I can take as a free to play. But yeah, so this is kind of where I am right now. So now let's move on to the second topic, which is kind of what are the main differences between this and the Korean version and what I'm not a great fan of it. Um, there's really only one major difference. Well, two major difference. One, they give you a free Charlotte, which is absolutely amazing. That's probably one of the best things they have changed. Absolutely great fan of it. Charlotte is really good as a debuffer, and also it allows you to make some single target units a bit more useful in auto mode. Because before, single target units all have this problem of that if yes, you may be able to kill one character, but then you are not able to then move on to the next one, and sometimes you spread your attacks too thinly across everyone. With Charlotte, with her Rosemar, it can potentially actually turn a single target into attacking multiple times in a row, and therefore making that almost like a semi AOE, which is really nice. So I'm a really great fan of her. And obviously, I already mentioned my PvP team is around that, and it's a fairly free to play version. Once again, check out my previous video for why it's kind of free to play and what you need to do, to get this team. But yeah, so really like that. But then the main thing which I really hate about the change that they made between now and also the Japanese version, I really hope the global launch is not like this. But they changed the dupe system, which I absolutely hate. And I hate this for two reasons. One, so basically what happens before is that you can get this universal share pieces before, and also you get your own dupes. What I think they're trying to do is they prevent you misusing your own character dupes as a shared piece, and then therefore do not have enough to actually LR a character. So that's better what I do. So rather than they say you have to reach bond level 4 in order to UR and bond level 10 in order to LR, what they say is that I'll give you two unique dupes for LR at level 10, which you can then use to reach to LR, etc. But I know some people made a mistake and misuse them for different characters, and therefore your own character can never reach LR, so that's why they changed. But I'll talk about why this is really bad. There's two main reasons why this is a really bad change. One is that it makes uh your your SR characters really bad. Because before what happens is that SR characters, you normally can get loads of dupes when you're pulling them. And what that basically means is that I can get someone straight to LR without really training too much up on the character. Because I can get all of the dupes in order to meet all of the kind of the friendship or the bond requirements for an SR character. And I can get all of the level experience by farming in the the forest beforehand, so I have all the experience pots to get to the character. And what that basically means is for any SR characters, I pretty much don't need to train them. Like for example, if I really want to farm my um, red dungeon with my soul and also charming, what I can do immediately is that I probably already have like two or three enough dupes from just normally the summons. So normally I don't actually need to reach all the way to friendship level 10 in order to LR this character. I can probably just reach friendship level 2 or level 3 in order to LR this character. And then that makes it really nice because then what I can do is I am then able immediately have this character who is ready to go for whatever scenario I do. Because a lot of the SR character you probably won't be using them all the time. You'll only be using them for specific purposes, whether it's like PvP or for specific dungeons, etc. So it really doesn't make sense for you to spend so much energy to train them up. But yeah, right now the dupe system completely ruined that. Like if I want to play my theme role, I actually need to get the bond all the way to affinity friendship level 10. That takes a lot of time, a lot of stamina, and that immediately makes a lot of the SR characters not as good as before because now there's actually a huge amount of farming required for you to get an SR character. Before SR character, I can easily be playable straight away, and that's one of the main advantage I have over some of the LR character or the UR characters, because I am able sorry. SSR characters because I am able to play them straight away without too much farming. But now this completely ruins that, so I think this is a really bad idea, and this severely reduce how much you can actually use the different characters, etc. So I really hate this change. And the other implication this had is in the shop. So basically, what happens is that if you go to the mage pieces, you are normally able to trade them up for different things by using your dupes. So before, because it never had this concept of you can always use your own character's dupe, their extra dupe as kind of share pieces. So there was only one version of the exchange, which is that you are able to exchange them for the various different things. Now, however, they separate out into two different things. So you have this one, which kind of use the actual dupes. So you actually have to have a dupe in a character, and then so this kind of diamond shaped dupes, and then you have those universal shared dupes, which are kind of those triangular shaped, etc. So because they have separated them out into two, so now I guess in one angle you can think, okay, there are more ways of me getting different resources, but and also the rates are slightly lower. So if I remember correctly, in the Japanese version, I think for to get the summon ticket, I think it was like either 8 or 10 dupes. So now they have reduced it down to six. But they require you to be actual dupes rather than those universal shared ones, which is really annoying. And it's really annoying for this reason. One, before, if I have anything extra, because there's sometimes you can get lucky when you are farming with your story ticket, etc. Whether in the Noel's downpour, right? And also every single month you get one or two extra, etc. So normally you can actually get healthy supply of this, if you're lucky, and I am actually able to use them for something because if I have too many, what I can do is I can redeem them for one of the SSR tickets or in one of the seasonal. Okay, the seasonal banner is gone now, so I can't show you anymore. But before there was also the kind of seasonal trade where I can trade it for the seasonal skill pages, etc. And that's really good because that's a good use of my shared dupes. So that's nice. But what happens now is yes, they have reduced it, but I can only use the universal one, and this basically means two things. One, what am I going to do with all of my extra shared ones? So there's literally no way of me using it. I know you can use it for crafting accessories if you really want to. I mean, that's like a whale thing to do, to be honest. I don't really recommend that, but other than that, I really don't even see anywhere where you can't use this. Like you can only use this for either LR your character or crafting accessories. It's like you are really limiting how much use you can have this for. And then the second thing is it also makes the first few banners, or the first few shops where you can exchange for summon tickets or those seasonal skill pages redundant because no one is going to have 6 character dupes at the start of the game. So no one's going to have that. And similarly for the seasonal skill pages, I can't remember how many it costs, but no one's going to have enough. And before, what you can do is that if you have the fear of missing out, if you have the FOMO of that I must collect every single seasonal character and skill pages, if I see something missing, what I can do is, okay, you know what? I'm going to take some of my shared gold pieces and then I'll just trade that for a seasonal skill page because in the future I can get more anyway. I can get more of those shared pieces. So it actually makes sense for me to trade in for those seasonal skill page while it's still available. But now you don't even have that option. So this is also really bad for free to play players because now if I actually want to, let's say, collect all three seasonal skill pages, there's no way realistically to do that other than pulling on the seasonal banner. And then that basically means you are kind of, if you're actually collecting, you're kind of forced to max out on every single seasonal banner, and doesn't really allow you to save up any gems. And there's even no guarantee that you can get all three seasonal skill pages just because you've done, I don't know, 200 or 300 or 400 pulls, because that's completely luck dependent. So that's why I'm really not a fan of this change. I think this really ruins both kind of the short-term fun and collecting behavior of your free-to-play players, and also it kind of ruins the long-term usage of your actual share pieces. Maybe in the very, very long term, because the actual cost is slightly lower. Maybe if I've been playing this game for a whole year, then yes, eventually this is probably a better change. But I can guarantee you, for the first half a year, for the first 1 year, no one would be able to have enough dupes to exchange any of this, and you essentially just make this entire shop section redundant, and you make all of your seasonal skill pages really difficult to get. So it's like, why do you do that? And on top of that, you make all of the SR characters unusable because you have to farm off their affinity first. It's just a really bad change. So I really hope they will change this back to how the Japanese version is.